Hello, and welcome to the weekly moon update for the week of May 6th through the 12th. We have a new moon week this week, and I really love the cards that we have, the oracle cards that we have for this week. So I'm excited to jump into it. But before we do that, the stream schedule is going to be a little bit different this week. Instead of streaming on a Tuesday or a Wednesday evening, I'm going to be streaming on a Friday afternoon, early evening, and then raiding over to medium Jenny Lee whenever she starts streaming around 8. One of the reasons why I decided to do that is because I noticed that I've been canceling a lot of streams if it's around the new moon. So I just kind of anticipated having low energy and not feeling well around the new moon and giving my body and my energy a break. So we'll be hanging out Friday, late afternoon, early evening. That's the only community event that we have this week, but I wanted to remind everybody, especially if you have to mail out your gift, that Mother's Day is happening on May 12th on Sunday. So just a little reminder that if you haven't already, get your packages in the mail or have your flowers scheduled to be delivered on the 12th for Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers in our community. It has like this very, we've got a Taurus new moon this week. It has this very lovely kind of energy. So it's kind of nice to have that Mother's Day energy while we're in Taurus season and within a Taurus moon cycle. And let's just jump into this new moon week. So our new moon is on Tuesday, which means that at the beginning of the week on Monday, we have a waning crescent moon, which is when you barely see that little sliver of the moon. And remember, you're going to see a waning crescent moon during the day. A new moon or any moon around the new moon is in the sky during the day, and then the full moon is in the sky during the evening. Monday, we have a waning crescent. Tuesday, we have our new moon. So that means that Wednesday and throughout the rest of the week, we have a waxing crescent. And then next week, we will have our first quarter. So this is super low energy time. This is a time where we should be resting and reflecting. And particularly with a Taurus moon, we're trying to get grounded and centered and stable. Stable is my keyword that I use for Taurus because it's like getting your feet on the ground, recalibrating yourself, and pulling that earth energy up through the earth and taking small and steady steps towards your goal. So stable is my keyword for Taurus, and slow and steady wins the race is the catchphrase that I like to use with Taurus energy. Taking one step at a time and very slow movements, but they're also very confident steps. They're like, you've thought this through. You really feel like this is the direction that you're going. And I mention that now because it relates to the cards that we have for this week as well. So starting off this week, we've got kind of a long transition. Technically, we're in Aries on Monday, but it's mostly void of Taurus energy because at 1:56 a.m. Monday morning is when the moon starts to transition. And then we don't enter Taurus energy until 5:42. Now, normally I would say Aries is a wonderful place to start off our week because it jump starts that fire and energy, but I don't think we're going to really be feeling that much of that Aries energy because the moon's already transitioning out of it and entering into that Taurus energy. So if anything, I feel like we might be able to feel the Taurus energy more than the Aries energy, but I think that just depends on, typically a long void of course time like this is kind of an absence of an energy. So Monday night is when we are moving into Taurus energy, which is again putting us into that new moon energy. The moon is technically new at 11:21 p.m. A lot of the moons that we've had, the full moon that we had, we were really, even after the full moon, we were hanging out in that Scorpio energy for a while. This is kind of like in between. Like we enter Taurus energy, we're hanging out in it all day Tuesday, then we have a new moon, and then we're pretty much hanging out in Taurus energy all day Wednesday as well. So the new moon is kind of smack dab in the middle of the Taurus energy. And it will start to transition into Gemini at 7:21 p.m. Wednesday evening. So like if you have any new moon plans, I'm thinking Tuesday is going to be the best day to do that. But I mean, really, you could do it Monday evening as well. And just remember, if you wanted, I wouldn't really recommend Wednesday evening because we'll already be in Gemini energy. And the only reason I bring that up is because I typically like do any of my magic or ceremony or setting intentions in the evening. You, of course, could also be doing something Tuesday or Wednesday morning or afternoon, whatever fits with your schedule. Again, Taurus is that slow and steady wins the race energy. And it really did kind of take me a while to like get grounded into Taurus energy. I feel like this is my opinion on Taurus energy compared to Virgo or Capricorn energy. I feel like Taurus is more stable because that's my keyword for Taurus, but there's more stillness to it, and there's more pause, and there's more contemplation and meditation and thought that goes into Taurus energy, and finding that comfortable place from which to build and grow. Whereas Virgo earth energy there's more movement to it. We're getting organized. We're coming up with all of these plans and ideas and moving things around. And Capricorn earth energy is like going after the thing, like going after that goal and crossing those things off your list and striving for that success and achievement. Whereas Taurus is just a little bit more comfy cozy, like get snuggly, get your book, get your journal, get your planner out, and like plan. and then tomorrow is when we take those steps and use that gradual movement. I also like to use elephant energy for Taurus energy because there's just these slow, heavy, confident steps towards your goal, as well as, of course, the bull and the stomping your hooves on the ground. So this is kind of setting intentions around having like your home base, having your like ground zero from which you build off of. So this could be like making your workspace more cozy and like reorganizing it so that like you feel more comfortable. You have this like cleared empty space from which to grow. This could also be like cleaning your bedroom and getting those sheets washed and making sure that you have this nice cozy nest from which to rest and recuperate, and then waking up in the morning feeling ready to go. This can also be, just like creating this safe space from which to make movement on or take steps from. So setting intentions around physical fitness is really good too, because like when you're taking care of your body, when you're making sure that your body is rested and strong, then you're able to sustain yourself because like you're eating better, you're stronger because you've been exercising, or you're just staying more hydrated. You're like taking care of your physical space, but also like your physical body. And then once you have this like nest or this like stable foundation, then Gemini comes in Wednesday evening and it's like, okay, now we can get moving. Now we can start talking about things. We can start socializing. We can start making steps and movement. And Gemini air energy is going to bring in that like connection, and that enables you to take those first steps. That like on Gemini days, I like to communicate my intentions to the universe. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. And it's also about like making those connections. Like, this is what I'm doing and I need this person's help, or this is what I'm doing and I need this person's support. Or I also like to play with the duality aspect of Gemini and almost kind of like communicating with my future self, like the future version of myself that has the things that I'm striving for, and trying to embody that, trying to communicate that, trying to understand that. Like, what is it going to take to get from this version of myself to the future version of myself, and kind of thinking and meditating on those ideas and concepts as well. So we will be in Gemini energy for Wednesday evening, all day Thursday, and all day Friday too. And we won't move into Cancer until 11:13 p.m. Friday evening. So the Cancer energy is going to take us into the weekend and into that Mother's Day energy, which is really kind of beautiful, because the Taurus energy I consider as the divine masculine, and then Cancer energy is what I consider the divine feminine. Cancer is the mother, Taurus is the father, and we've got Mother's Day weekend. So this is a loving, caring, nurturing, waxing crescent Cancer moon that we have for Mother's Day. That's hopefully going to inspire you to not only express gratitude for the mothers in your life, whether that's your actual biological mother or somebody, a boss or a friend that has very mothering energy for you, that gives you that loving, nurturing, tough love, but unconditional love, support, and kind of hanging out in this beautiful energy on the weekend, expressing gratitude and love for the divine feminine in your life, whether that's an actual physical human or whether that is a deity that you would like to connect to. We had our moon meeting last week, and the goddess archetype for this month is Aphrodite. So it would be a really beautiful thing to treat yourself to the Aphrodite ritual bath that we talked about in the moon meeting. That would be a really good idea to do something this weekend to just love and nurture yourself, as well as the feminine in your life, whatever form that might take for you. And we'll be in Cancer energy for like the rest of the week. We won't actually start to transition into a new sign until Monday. So Cancer energy for the whole weekend. So this week, technically we're starting off with Earth energy. You could say we're starting off with fire energy, but I think it's going to feel a little bit more earthy. So Monday is going to help give us that earth grounded and centeredness. Wednesday and Thursday and Friday is going to bring a little bit more of a playful and kind of like playing with ideas, playing with how can we embody this transition, or body our intentions, embody. I think of embodiment when I think of Taurus earth energy. Like, how can I be the thing that I'm striving to be? I mean, Gemini energy can just be like playing, like literally playing, like allowing yourself to be silly and goofy and laugh and have fun. But I also feel like it's good for playing with ideas and concepts and exploring and figuring that out for yourself. And then we're going to have self-care water energy on the weekend. So our card for this week, and I thought this was so interesting, is the Traveler, move in a new direction. The first thing that came to mind when I pulled this card is that, oh, we have a Sagittarius full moon as well this month. And I do think of like, there's a compass on here. Like, I think of compasses and map and direction when I think of Sagittarius energy. And one of the reasons why that's interesting is because we don't always have a Taurus new moon paired with a Sagittarius full moon. We normally have Taurus and Scorpio together. Those are the opposite signs that balance each other out. So if you look at the wheel of the year, Taurus is opposite Scorpio and Sagittarius is like right next to Scorpio. So we had a shift last year because we had 2 Aries new moons back to back, and that shifted all of the new moon and full moon combinations that we have had for the last year. So the message of this card is move in a new direction, welcome any opportunities to travel, either to the outer world or to your inner worlds. The Traveler card represents Gypsy spirit within. The opportunity to move in a new direction is coming your way, and ancestral wisdom is encouraging you to welcome it with open arms. Going on a trip is an exciting process because not only do you learn about the world, you also learn about yourself. This card often comes up when you have a chance to go through a process of awakening and understand even more about the amazing qualities you have to share with the world. Often, such journeys can be lonely, but this in itself can teach you that you are never really alone and your angels and ancestors are always there for you. The road you are on may be the road less traveled, but this journey is going to be highly beneficial for your emotional and spiritual growth. If it isn't about covering outer distance, it's about covering distance within, and you will be evolving every single moment of it. Remember to keep things simple and to lighten your load, because that will make your journey more enjoyable. You are also being encouraged to see how far you've come and how you've really grown as a person, because this recognition will support you in going even further. And there's a good chance that along the way, you'll make new friends who will be companions for a lifetime. So, I mean, I just always love the idea and concept of going on a journey, and that this life is about the exploration. It's about the experience, and it's not always about like getting there. It's about like the journey itself and the experience of it. So I love this card for a Taurus new moon because we're building our like home base. We're starting at one point on the map and making the plans and kind of mapping out our way. And when you treat it like an adventure, when you treat it like a vacation, it relieves a lot of the stress of it. And when you're able to get grounded and centered in Taurus energy and experience all of those things, experience just the little things, the everyday things, shifting your perspective and just enjoying the experience along the way. Whenever I'm having a difficult time in my life, I like to think like, well, one day when I get to where I'm going, where I get to whatever that goal is at that particular time in my life, I'm going to look back on this time and think fondly of it. Like, I'm going to think fondly of like, hey, remember that year that we could only eat ramen, and remember sitting on the floor eating pizza with no furniture? Like, you kind of look back at those times and smile about it, and you think fondly of it. And because I think when you're in difficult times, you kind of find those deeper connections with the people in your life. I think you tend to always like look back on, like, I even looking back on like really hard, difficult, horrible times in my life, I still look back on it fondly because I hindsight is 2020. You're able to look back on things and understand them more. And, oh, I understand why I went through that now. I can appreciate now because it brought you whatever it is that you have now. So I think the message of this card is to learn to get grounded and centered and stable and just appreciate the moment for what it is, because the worry and the anxiety comes from thinking about the future too much, and the sadness and the depression comes from thinking of the past. So if we can bring ourselves into the present, we can maybe appreciate the journey a little bit more. And our chakra card for this week is Inspired Innovation. You have the ability to resolve tides of envy and fear with stability. You are courageous and enthusiastic, creating what needs to become in order to move forward with your life. Your energy is inspired and activated by your innovative drive, and in turn, you inspire and motivate others to achieve their fullest potential. You are a beacon of light and possibility. What new ideas are coming to you, and how can you bring them into being? Revel in this moment of inspiration and let it help you birth new beauty into the world. So this is a sacral chakra stone, or a sacral chakra card. The crystal they recommend is gold stone, and the herb is cinnamon. There are a couple of things about this card that it makes me think that this Taurus moon cycle is going to like bring in this settling of a lot of things that may have gotten like stirred up and jostled around during eclipse season and Mercury retrograde. And now we're having this like grounding, this like letting the dust settle, letting all of the chaos kind of fizzle out down to the ground. And now we're able to like see things a little bit more clearly, understand things a little bit better. And now, because we're not surrounded by this chaotic energy anymore, we're able to like see the path clearer and find that inspiration again and find that motivation to move forward. Another thing that I think that this brings up with Taurus energy is the herb cinnamon, which is such an activating herb, but it's also an herb that's going to like stimulate so many different senses. It like, think of like when you smell cinnamon and how it absolutely like transports you to like hot apple cider or sitting by the fire and sipping something, or like apple pie, or like it's just such this aromatic herb. And I think it is technically considered an aphrodisiac. A lot of aphrodisiac herbs are not necessarily like doing anything to the sexual organs. They're usually cardiovascular support, which cinnamon is. So it's like something that's getting your blood moving and circulating, which helps you feel inspired to get into that aphrodisiac place. And a lot of other aphrodisiac herbs are antidepressant, anti-anxiety. They're going to calm your nervous system down. A lot of aphrodisiacs are nervine, so they're calming you down so that you're able to get to a place where you're sexually motivated. And the reason I bring this up is because cinnamon and the sacral chakra are very sensual things. And we need to remember that Taurus is ruled by Venus. So like these are the things that inspire us and motivate us, but they're also the things that help you like get into the present moment. Like when you are grounded and centered and closing your eyes and thinking about what cinnamon smells like and what it tastes like and what it feels like within your body, you're like in that present moment. And that's truly how Taurus energy can like embody you, by closing your eyes and using your senses. What does cinnamon smell like? What does it taste like? What does it feel like in your body? Don't put cinnamon oil on your skin. I was going to say, like, what does it feel like in your body, not on your body? So Taurus energy can help us get grounded and present in the moment by using all of those different senses and allowing yourself to experience them. And last but not least, we have black tourmaline for our gemstone of the week. Black tourmaline is the most protective stone. It's a root chakra gem that creates an energetic shield around you, deflecting negativity and sealing holes in your auric space. It counteracts energy depletion, wards off nightmares, and connects you with divine wisdom and keeps you feeling safe and well. The affirmation is, I am safe and protected within an energetic field. And I think this is perfect for a Taurus new moon week, because in order to get embodied, in order to get into the present moment, you have to feel safe and you have to feel protected. And you have to activate that root chakra, because the root chakra is developed when you are under the age of 3 and you're needing to depend on somebody else to take care of all of your needs. And you are assured that you're safe and protected, but we don't always experience that in the rest of our life. So always coming back to that place of safety and protecting. That's why I recommend like setting intentions around like rearranging your bedroom so that you have this like nest to go back to recharge and recuperate at the end of a long day. Having this space where you feel safe, and that can also be feeling safe within your body and feeling like your auric field is safe and protected, and you have this bubble and shield protecting you from other people's energy getting in. So I hope that you are all able to find some sense of safety and home base and foundation from which to continue moving forward through this year and the rest of these moon cycles. We've had a kind of chaotic and turbulent year already, and things will kind of pick up again within the next few months. So I think this Taurus energy allows us to just come back to ourselves, come back to that safety and stability, and reinforce your foundation, reinforce your shields and your walls and your protections, and keep trudging on. Pick up your shield and keep marching on that journey, keep marching on that adventurer's map, and hope that you get to the X at the end of it, wherever that may be. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you have a happy and beautiful, loving and caring, nurturing Mother's Day. And again, hugs to all the mothers out there. You guys work so hard, and we appreciate you so much. Bye.